Greetings everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon. Today we're here, just a casual video. I wanted to talk about my, predictions and wish list for Nintendo's E3 presentation next week. We're gonna just cover like the obvious stuff. We know some of what they'll talk about and show, as well as some things that I think they have a decent chance of showing off, and then just briefly touch on what I would actually personally like to see, whether or not I actually do believe it will be there. So with that said, let's dive right in. First and foremost, obviously, we know that Mario over here is going to be a big part of this presentation. Mario Odyssey will likely make up the bulk of it. As for what they'll show, maybe a more in-depth look at how the hat power-up works, maybe a few other power-ups, maybe a little more info on like the plot. We know Bowser's kidnapped Peach, but I'd like to see more about well, we know why Bowser kidnaps Peach. It's the same in every game, right? But like how the hat fits into the lore of all this, the ship and how Mario's getting from point A to point B. Are they different worlds, or are they all? Is it just one world that's connected via the ship, or is it more Mario 64-esque or Galaxy-esque, where he's basically traveling to different worlds via the ship? A lot of things they can cover there. Maybe show off some more NPCs, things like that. Maybe show a few more new stages and levels. Maybe we'll see Luigi, always down for my main man. And so that's what I think the bulk of the presentation will be. Probably if we're looking at an hour-ish long presentation, that'll probably take a 20-ish minutes just discussing Mario, I guess. It'll be the game that gets the most focus, I feel like. Mario and any Mario spin-offs. For sure, I'd like to see a Mario Party game in the vein of anything before 8. I've only played the GameCube ones personally, but anything reminiscent of before they added the stupid car. That's what I would like to see for Mario Party. And then, of course, I know I've got to talk about this because someone will bring it up if I don't. The Mario Rabbids crossover, what was it, like Mario Kingdom Clash or something really stupid. I don't even remember the name because I don't care. Why is that a thing? It's horrifying. From that leaked picture, ugh. The rabbit that's Princess Peach in particular, terrifying. I'm really curious, is anyone actually excited for it? I do not want it to be a thing. I know a lot of people are just like, ew, no, please, Nintendo, take away. I haven't heard anyone really that enthusiastic about it, though. From what I remember, Rabbids are something that kind of came about during the Wii era, like early Wii era. And they got a few games, they tried to stick around, and they just didn't maintain any popularity. I remember them having like lol random humor, really gross over the top things. They had like a thing for toilet plungers or something. That's really all I know about them. But just like aesthetically, the Rabbids as characters are not appealing. I know that's a turnoff for me. I know a lot of other people are just like, they're just so gross looking. I'm really curious, is anyone really looking forward to this game? I know there are people out there who are, but like, are any of you guys looking forward to it? What do you want to see come out of it? It's apparently more RPG-ish style. So if you're looking forward to that, please enlighten me as to why. If all signs point to that being a real thing, so I would expect to see some time devoted to that, whether or not it comes from the Mario Odyssey segment chunk. I'm anticipating something related to that being shown, uh, and that'll probably get a decent chunk of time too. Uh, and then lastly, I think in particular Mario Odyssey will likely some form of amiibo compatibility. I mean, there are just so many Mario amiibo uh, out there that I feel like they have to use them in some way to justify just how many Mario figures there are. Uh, I'm I'm not sure though whether or not I think we'll see some kind of amiibo tie-in in terms of something new. I think the best bets are either a new Mario Odyssey specific line in the vein of Breath of the Wild, or we'll see just it utilizing the pre-existing figures along with a new Wave 3 with some more iconic Mario characters, Toadette, Birdo, some Odyssey reps, maybe like Goomba and Koopa, just as some off the top of the head things. I feel like Amiibo will be involved in the game in some way, probably also utilized in the Rabbids crossover, really hoping they don't get their own line. I'm sorry, I really do not find the idea of the Rabbids game appealing. I mean, I know it's one of those things where it's like, well, if you don't like it, just ignore it, but really, I'm just like, why? Who thought it was a good idea? Who approved it? Miyamoto. Why did you approve this? Why'd you approve this? Moving on from Mario, which I do, again, think will be the bulk of the game that gets the most focus, I think we'll see some other games that we've already seen, talked about and shown, receive some spotlight as well. Obviously, ARMS comes out like the same week, but I don't think we'll see a whole lot of ARMS because I think so close they'll maybe give like one little trailer just to be like, hey, remember ARMS comes out this Friday or whatever. So we'll see that. I think we'll maybe see something for Splatoon, just maybe a quick trailer or something introducing a new game mode. Nothing massive. Next, I think we'll see a little trailer or reveal for Fire Emblem Warriors, which is coming closer to fall. Maybe a new character reveal, some explanation on like the game modes or how like the weapon triangle will be implemented. But I think most of that, I think Fire Emblem Warriors will have more time dedicated to it in a separate presentation. I don't think it's going to get a huge amount of time here. And then also we know Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is in the works. I think we'll see a little more info on that. Nothing too major. Again, I think that's something to save for another presentation because there's just so much more that they can expand upon in that that would just eat into the presentation time here at E3. I think that'll get its own spotlight in a direct down the line. Other things I'd like to see, or I'm expecting, are a teaser for the Virtual Console. I don't think they'll show too much, but I think I read that they are like revising their stance on the free monthly game that you get, and then they take it out and swap it with another game. I read they're revising their stance on that, so maybe they'll explain that a little more, give us a little idea of what kind of games we can expect, whether or not we'll see GameCube, please? GameCube, I miss you. And then, so I think we'll get a little teaser for Virtual Console, but nothing super huge. I also think there's a good chance we'll see a trailer for a new Metroid game. Everyone really wants it. I could honestly care either way. I don't think we'll see a lot of gameplay. I think it'll just be kind of a cinematic trailer to be like, yes, it's in the works, confirmed. Stop messaging us about the new Metroid. I think following that, I think we could see a breakdown of what to expect for Zelda DLC coming in the winter, but I think that's also something they could save to slip into another direct, just pad it out a little more. I think they're gonna focus a little more on new games rather than stuff for existing ones here, actually. And then I think they're gonna show off they're gonna have a little segment where they show off some other smaller games, more indies and third-party stuff. Uh, you know, your Shovel Knight stuff. I'd love to see a Shovel Knight, King's Knight reveal here, but I don't think that's super likely. But we'll see a little stuff for indies and other developers. I know Natsume had a tweet. I'll go ahead and throw that up real quick. Basically, it said to stay tuned for info on a new Harvest Moon game. To clarify, this is the Natsume Harvest Moon games that are still called Harvest Moon, not made by the original developers, which are the Xseed Story of Seasons. Probably just a short announcement, a little bit of gameplay, nothing huge, it won't take up a lot of space. As for that game in particular, it's hard to say if it'll be for the Switch or the 3DS, but I can kind of see Natsume wanting to be like, hey, they're kind of in direct competition with Xseed for that kind of farm sim niche. I could see them wanting to get established on the Switch ASAP and prioritizing that over capitalizing over the larger player base of the 3DS. But so there's that. Now as for things that I personally want, I would love to see, like I said, a good Mario Party game for the Switch, more in the vein of the older games. That could be a lot of fun. Maybe even like a best of Mario Party, get like some of the best stages and boards and mini games from each Mario Party game, and just kind of make a nice compilation pack. I think Pikmin 4, which is something that they've discussed briefly in an interview. I think Miyamoto said that they had it in the works, and then when Hey Pikmin was announced, a lot of people, including myself, were like, whoa, is this the new Pikmin? Please don't be the new Pikmin. And I heard that they did confirm later that it was not Pikmin 4, and Pikmin 4 just got pushed onto the back burner. I think that'll be something maybe for a later direct. Maybe we'll get a teaser here. But I feel like as much as I want to see Pikmin 4, I think that'll be something for down the line. But what's interesting is they had said in the original thing that it was mostly done. It was in like the final stages. But for it to be pushed into the back burner, I wonder if maybe they had originally been developing it for the Wii U, and then they just decided, oh, well, the Switch is here, we'll just move everything to the Switch, so they're trying to get it working on there. But I do really want to see Pikmin 4. Love Pikmin. Also, I think that maybe it got pushed back because it is one of their larger series, not Mario, not like even one of their biggest series, but it's got a decent fan base. I could see them pushing it back because of their strategy of trying to have new releases every few months as opposed to big title and then a long gap and then a big title. I could see them trying to give it room to breathe, because we've got stuff pretty much through most of the end of the year already. We've got ARMS in June, Splatoon in July, I think Palkin was September, Hyrule Warriors might have been August, I can't really remember, but then that leaves like October, and then Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon are in November. Mario Odyssey is sometime in the holiday. So that's a lot of games already. I could see them being like, okay, we'll just save Pikmin 4 and just be like, okay, here's another larger title for 2018. Just toss it in whenever we have a gap that needs to be filled. On the note of ARMS, I had originally said no to a Smash reveal. I didn't think it was likely because they'd want to give ARMS at least like 6 months-ish to establish itself, see if it flopped or succeeded, and then by then it'd be rolling into the holidays and Mario Odyssey would be the big title there, and they didn't want Smash competing with that because that'd be kind of iffy. They're both pretty big names. but seeing them take another fighting game in Pokken Tournament and port it and have it come out like 2 or 3 months after ARMS comes out, I'm suddenly not so sure. I think there's a decent chance that if a Smash port is in the works, we'll see something related to that. I mean, I think there's a decent chance now. Other things that we know about already, Kirby was confirmed for a 3DS title. I think we'll see a teaser for that. Nothing too substantial. That seems like something they could make the focus like maybe a Kirby mini direct, kind of like the Fire Emblem one they had a while back. Just a lot of things that I think could be shown off a little bit and teased, but not really take up a whole lot of focal point here. Also, I mentioned Ultra Sun and Moon. I don't think we're going to get too much there. I think that a small trailer at most, like maybe if they're adding more Alolan forms, we'll see that or something. But I don't think we're going to get a huge amount of Ultra Sun and Moon news. Pokemon Company likes to do their own thing. They don't really like to show too much during the big Nintendo-centric stuff. Other games, Animal Crossing, as much as I'd love to see Animal Crossing Switch announced, I kind of don't think it will. I think that with the Splatoon dev team and Animal Crossing dev team having a lot of overlap, I think they're mostly working on getting Splatoon 2 ready to be launched and then some immediate stuff to release afterwards in the following weeks. So I don't think they have had time to get fully started or fully into production of Animal Crossing for Switch. I think we'll see something on that later in the year. I'd like to see for stuff from other companies. I'd love to see, like, if they decide to port the Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'd love to see that, but not looking super likely right now. We'll probably see something on, like, Ever Oasis or whatever. I don't think most people even remember that game's existing right now, with the Switch hype. I'd love to see Bayonetta 3, but I think it's a little too early for that, too. And lastly, I think one that I'd really like to see is Steven Universe. Save the Light has been announced officially for PlayStation 4 and Xbox. I'd love to see an official confirmation of a Switch version, but that's a toss-up. Who knows? And then just some other smaller things I'd like to see. I'd love to see my standard, like, custom Robo. I'd love to see Chibi Robo would be cool, but it kind of flopped. You know, there's just lots of little games. F-Zero and Star Fox DK, those are all games that we'd love to see, but probably aren't going to show up this time. Probably, if any of those are getting games down the line, particularly Star Fox and DK, they'll be maybe next year or something. And then lastly, of course, because it's me, I have to do my yearly request to Reggie. Please give us Mother 3. Please. It's Lucas. Look, he's beautiful. Please bring him home. So that's my thoughts on what we can expect to see and what I'd like to see for E3. Kind of long, rambly video, which is par for the course with me, but whatever. Just my unorganized thoughts. Let me know what you think we'll see and what you would like to see in the comments down below. Thank you, as always, for watching. This is Hoodie Angel Brandon, signing out. Please put Mystic Messenger on the Switch. I'll buy it. I'm serious.